That's interesting because when I talk with the younger generation, they often say that they don't want to touch each other. So it's funny because the more you have it in your hand, as you said, the more actually people can feel a real distance. Maybe something that's fading, this desire is fading. And I was really asking myself how to arouse that desire. And I think it exists only through the connection to others. You need a story, you need people, you need fantasy, you need time to fantasize. So time is a very interesting tool when talking about movies. So I was like, let's create a place where they can actually find this time. Normally every day is the same. I'm going to break those rules because there is a relation between Emmanuelle and the guy that she doesn't fully understand, and he escapes all the time. And because she thinks about him...
When you were in my room, what did you do?
Something is happening in her body. So I was like, let's tell people how to get back to the body, because I myself feel that loneliness and the fact that we don't touch each other that much. The journey of Emmanuelle is to let it go and breathe, okay? And as a filmmaker, I think that when I start a movie, I'm in the same mood. I want to control everything. But if you want to discover something, making a movie, then as Emmanuelle, I need to go to the unknown. I need to let it go. So the process of the movie, the way we make it, follow that idea. We precisely design the frame of the first half of the movie. And after the storm, in the middle of the movie, there is a storm, and the storm says, going back to nature. You should go back to nature. Like, open the door and let chaos take his space, you know. And that was something I was telling myself, you know. And so we worked with Noémi Merlant, the actress, and the DOP, Laurent Tangy. We worked on those ideas. So from now on, we don't have special rules. We need to let the camera be free as well. And I need, in order to have the pleasure of making a movie, I need to do so.
My agent called me one day and told me, I have a script for you. Audrey Diwan wants you to read it, and it's Emmanuelle. And I was, what is Emmanuelle? Because I didn't know Emmanuelle, I never heard about it before. So he told me, and then I was, oh, that's interesting. And then I told some people around me, and they were like, oh my God, no, don't do that, it's too risky. And this fear of people, I was, okay, so I have to go, because it means that if there is fear, we have something to explore together and discuss. So I read the script, and I had a very big connection with Emmanuelle and the story of the Emmanuelle of Audrey Diwan. And I love Audrey Diwan. I admire her work a lot. So I met her, and I didn't know if I had the part at the beginning because she wanted to meet me. So we discussed, we had a drink, and we talked about Emmanuelle and the fact that we start a movie with a woman that doesn't get pleasure. And that is risky, but very interesting. So we had this discussion, and then she said, okay, do you want to be Emmanuelle? After, I don't know, 45 minutes.
First of all, I was supposed to make the movie with Léa Seydoux, that I know for years and that I love. But she jumped in very early, and when I developed the whole screenplay, which I haven't before, we realized we're not exactly talking about the same woman. She was more about feelings, and I was more about sensations. And as Noémi says quite a lot of time, I agree with the idea that a woman should be able to have sex without feelings if she feels like it. And that was something I wanted to say. So we decided not to do the movie together, but it was a soft discussion. We want to work together one day. And very soon after, because I know Noémi's work, because I've seen her in Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Les Olympiades from Jacques Audiard, and she has made a movie as a filmmaker, and they're all related to the question of the body on screen. And I was sure before I met her that she would have very strong ideas about it, and she does. And those strong ideas make her very free. She's very free on set because she has no fear. She's confident, she trusts me, she knows what she wants to give to the audience, what she wants the audience to feel, so it's a pleasure. There is no moment, no awkward moment making the scenes with her.
So I was kind of curious, how does Audrey Diwan tackle this material? And I was kind of reading on Google like the story of the original book, and I was kind of, I just can't imagine it. But then when I read the script, it made complete sense to me, and it's kind of this, the perspective is very clear, and it's a completely new iteration, a new imagining of that story. And then I met with her on Zoom, I think, and we talked about the project and about other things too. And I think by the end of the conversation, she was like, "Well, do you want to come and make this movie?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, yeah."
Sexuality is a big part, and erotism is important in our lives. Most of us need it. So how we go there, and we go there with consent. And in the movie, there is everybody is happy, and happy is okay to be here. Decides to leave each scenes. Everybody has a space in the movie to talk, to express themselves. And that's what we miss, I think, in all the pornography or images with the sexuality thing and that's in the society or on the internet and on the films, and that what people we've missed, and so that's why maybe young people doesn't know how to do now, because they never had images to show how with consent it's possible, and it's exciting also.
And the last sequence, we try to portray female orgasm at some point, and it's so hard, and it goes that way for that sequence as well. Like, we were trying to control what we were doing, Noémi and I, and because we were tired, at the end of the night, something unexpected happened, a sigh, a smile, whatever, this is it. So I learned to let it go. I want to give that to people, let it go, breathe.
I think also in the film, I almost feel like the film exists in its own world, and the hotel, for example, comes to represent something kind of metaphorical almost. And for the first sort of chapter of the movie, I feel like Emmanuelle is experiencing things that society has told her should be pleasurable, or the things that she has been told she should desire. And we can see that that's not fulfilling for her. And so over the course of the movie, she tries to reconnect with her own needs and her own desires. What does she actually want? And maybe there is a degree to which all of us are guilty of thinking that we know what we want because of adverts or what the internet tells you need, but actually it's beneficial for anyone to just stop and sort of think about, but actually who am I? What do I need?
We went through the pornographic area, so many things happened since 1974. And how can we reform, think over the way we see pleasure nowadays to probably try to feel it through a woman body? Interesting, and see what happened when we share that. I think it's more pleasure for both genders.
Most of the time, like in this movie, it's very nice because as actors we have space to give our opinion, to put limits, but also explore with the director. And so we go further most of the time, even in the intimate scenes, because we are considered. And when you're considered and you have a space, then you express more, you give more. So I love this moment that we live after Me Too for this.
There's I think intimacy coordinators will help the actors to feel safe in the environment, and if you feel safe, you're able to be more vulnerable, you're able to, as you say, like take bigger risks, and sometimes it's just a way to ease the communication, because sometimes it can be awkward to talk about scenes like that, and they just make it very straightforward, very simple. So yes, definitely change for the better, I would say too.